Hello, class. Hello, professor. You'll have to forgive me. I have COVID, and so I'm going to try to record this as best I can. Um, this is the introduction side of the overview of my research. My topic question is the impact of daily screen time on physical activity among adults 18 to 40. The purpose was to explore the correlations and connections between screen time and exercise or physical activity. My hypothesis was that the higher the screen time someone used, the more likely they were to skip on physical activity. My methods, I had participants of 14 individuals. They were all between 18 to 40. Demographics were 4 males and 10 females. I had to go to the quad in PCC and asked people as they passed by if they were willing to participate in my survey. I also had a few people that I'd met in PCC take it, as well as some family members. Um, the survey, the survey and procedure. For the survey overview, I had 11 questions assessing screen time and their physical activity levels. An example of this was, on average, how many hours per day do you spend using screens? And the follow up was, on average, how often do you participate in physical activity? Design and procedure, descriptive survey design was administered through Google Forms, which we were all told to use, and I would give them the link if I met them in the quad, or I would text them the link if they were someone that I'd met previously while at PCC or elsewhere. It included a informed consent debriefing statement. Moving on to the results section, the quantitative results. I had screen time average about 6 to 7 hours a day, with a range of 1 to 12 and a half hours. I'm sorry. My interpretation was that screen time usage varied among participants and often correlated with less exercise as usage rose. Um, Qualitative results in my hypothesis evaluation. There were mixed reviews on the screen time's influence of physical activity in regards to the declarations that people made when they were given the freedom to fill in the blanks of their own answers. Although overall, it did appear that it did often affect exercise usage went up. Um, my hypothesis support was that some of the evidence did end up supporting the hypothesis, but results also show nuanced interactions. The best evidence that showed support for the individual declarations of participants or were the participants themselves claiming that they were addicted to their devices at the expense of doing other things. And some of these other things often included exercise being sacrificed. Um, the strength of the study was that I had a wide variety of ages. I had only two genders, and but I had a strong representation of the two, and there was a wide variety of ethnicities that had taken part in my survey. Um, My detailed survey instrument was comprehensive questions that captured both qualitative and quantitative data, and those questions were modeled in different ways as well, with a focus on trying to extract specific information from participants. The limitations was partly done by convenience sampling. It was who I was merely able to acquire, and this would not necessarily be a representation of the larger population, but perhaps the population in PCC, although that would also be limited. My sample size was also only 14 participants. I know there are much more than hundreds of PCC students, and if I wanted to generalize my findings, I'd have to get more people involved than that. The potential solution I had in mind was to use random sampling, but most importantly, was to increase sample size. Finally, the additional considerations I have in mind would be the impact of confounding variables. There's finally the additional considerations would be the impact of confounding variables. Different factors like occupation or lifestyle seem to influence the results. There were people who had more working hours than others, and they were already more prone to exercise and less frequently. However, they were already more frequently using screens for their work. It seems that there might be a chicken-egg problem the way the questions were designed, since the job seems to be causing the infrequent exercise due to the timely commitment they have to do at the job. The survey item design, I felt my questions were surprisingly effective, as they managed to cut to the meat of the questions that I was looking for. But as far as the biases that I couldn't overcome, it seems to me that I wasn't clear enough with screen usage. And maybe that was something that is unique to me, because it came up a lot that there were many things that would count as screen time usage, and the umbrella term was a bit too wide. Thank you.